There's this weird middle ground in phone software. On one side, you have the super locked down, polished experience, and on the other, you have the infinitely customizable, do whatever you want chaos. For years, the conversation has been about choosing one or the other. But what if you could have both? What if your phone software felt like it was made of glass? All right, so today we're talking about ColorOS 16. This is Oppo's latest take on Android 16, and based on the latest leaks, it's shaping up to be one of the most significant visual and functional overhauls we've seen from them in a while. They're taking some heavy inspiration from a certain fruit company, but they're also adding their own unique twist, with a focus on blending creative freedom and a polished interface. The Liquid Glass UI. So, the big headline feature, the thing they're building the entire identity of this update around, is something they're calling the Liquid Glass UI. Right off the bat, you can tell what they're going for. Think translucent panels, frosted glass-like elements, and layered effects that are designed to give the whole system a sense of depth. It's all about creating a futuristic and vibrant feel with dynamic animations and light play across the entire system. The goal seems to be a more polished, fluid look, and yeah, the comparisons to Apple's iOS design language are pretty unavoidable. But they're also paying attention to the smaller details. The leaks mention an advanced texture blur effect and new fingerprint animations, which suggests Oppo is focusing on those subtle refinements that enhance the overall feel of using the phone every day. But here's where it breaks away from just being an iOS clone. The core of this update appears to be a massive push into personalization, especially on the lock screen and home screen. First up, the lock screen. It's getting a noticeable overhaul. We're expecting a new set of clock styles so you can tweak how the time is displayed, but the more interesting part is the integration of generative AI. Leaks point to generative text in doodles, letting you throw AI-created phrases or sketches right onto your screen. And maybe the most practical change is the addition of lock screen widgets, which will give you quick access to information and tools without having to fully unlock your device. To top it off, we're also expecting a full-screen, always-on display, which will let you see even more at a glance. That focus on customization continues right onto the home screen. Icons will reportedly be resizable across 4 different formats: 1x1, 1x2, 2x1, and 2x2. This is a bigger deal than it sounds. It means your layout can adapt more naturally to how you actually use your phone, letting you prioritize the apps you use most often. Of course, new widgets are also part of the update, expanding the range of glanceable info that you can have front and center. Performance and quality of life. Of course, a new coat of paint doesn't mean much if the engine underneath isn't tuned up. Oppo is promising refinements under the hood for a smoother overall experience. The leaks specifically mention that system responsiveness should be sharper, with smoother navigation throughout the UI. Faster app launches and smoother animations are also on the list, pointing to an overall more refined experience. There are a few key app and system updates. The Photos app is getting a redesign with better organization and more editing tools. There's also a redesigned media player on the way, which should bring a more modern look while keeping the controls intuitive. Release date and first devices. So, when can you actually get your hands on this? According to multiple reports, the official unveiling is set for October 15th. Now, that timing is a little interesting. Some have pointed out the missed opportunity for an October 16th launch for version 16, but I digress. More importantly, this puts Oppo a bit behind competitors like Samsung, which already started rolling out its Android 16 update earlier this month. Given that Android 16 has been out since June, some might see this as a terrible update pace on Oppo's part. It's still uncertain if the rollout to existing devices will begin on that same day or if we'll have to wait. History suggests updates often arrive in stages, with flagship phones usually getting them first. What we do expect is that the upcoming Oppo Find X9 and Find X9 Pro will be the first devices to ship with ColorOS 16 right out of the box. It's very likely they'll be revealed at that same October 15th event, as Oppo often ties its major hardware and software launches together. So, what's the big picture? Ultimately, ColorOS 16 looks like Oppo's attempt to position itself as a top-tier player in the software game, keeping pace with rivals like Samsung's One UI and Google's own Pixel software. They're trying to balance creative freedom with a really polished, almost iOS-like interface. The combination of a new design language, generative AI features, and system optimizations shows that this is more than just a routine Android refresh. We'll have to wait until October 15th to see how it all comes together, but this liquid glass approach, combined with a heavy dose of user customization, could be one of the more interesting Android skins we've seen in a while. So, what do you think? Is this liquid glass approach the right move for Oppo, or is it just another wannabe iOS skin? Let me know down in the comments below. Anyway, that's been it for me. If you like this video, you know what to do. Catch you in the next one. Peace.